because I love the Facebook business and I don't love the SpaceX business, but like, I'm just saying that you have a questionable business, which is cool. So I'm a Starlink customer, and I think the reusable rockets is an amazing technology. And I think that, the data centers he has are very valuable. So like, this is a real business. It's just being sold at a space-like multiple, an Elon multiple. And
yeah, I will say everybody at the conference agrees that he can build a data center faster and cheaper than anyone else could even think of. That telecommunications, of having a phone that can bypass all cell phones, would be pretty great. Like a lot of people, if it's reliable. So he and his AWS competitor, his cloud computing, is growing like a weed. So you're right. He does have a business. I don't think anyone is saying it's a fraud, but I go back.
No, it's not a fraud.
Yeah, I keep getting reminded of, in business school, there was one study where I said, you know what? Throughout my whole career, this has been 100% right. And usually it's like nothing's like that. But if someone's trying to sell you an IPO, that is probably not good, because the institutions will get all the allocation of the best IPOs. And that has been, in other words, it's kind of the winner's curse of, if an individual can get shares of an IPO. And I understand this one, they're being allocated to, but the fact that Jamie Dimon and other folks are going on road shows to pitch to high net worth individuals why they should be in something is, I've never heard of something like that before. So if you're wondering how much it costs to get Jamie Dimon to speak at your book club, you kind of know the number now.
Well, and it's funny because I had mentioned this. I had two stories on this roadshow. I had a buddy who was in that brand new nice JP Morgan office in New York, which apparently is amazing. And he said they had a high net worth, like, theatrical production. They had moon rocks and asteroids in there, and people dressed in bomber jackets and in like space helmets. And like, he's like, I've never seen anything like it. It's nuts. And then another guy said Morgan Stanley did something similar in Chicago. And I've done a lot of IPOs in my day. I've never seen anything like this. And like, I was at the Alibaba IPO, and Jack Ma came in. They just jammed us all in some big room, and I think it was the Palace Hotel in New York. Like, that was the biggest IPO ever at the time.
Now you're getting a Cirque du Soleil show.
Yeah, exactly. That should tell you something, that if there's a theatrical entertainment component to it, either society's gotten weird, which maybe
probably you should run the other way.
Or that exactly. And again, it is just comes down to, this stock was basically, hang on, let me see if I can show you this.
Yeah, while you're looking for that, it's just like private credit, right? People are talking about the troubles in private credit. It was 2 years ago that all of a sudden I start getting, hey, we have a unique opportunity, before only available to Blackstone. Now we can open it up to you. I'm like,
Yeah, you're so
lucky. Check this out. So there it is right there. Like this stock, this is the private market. I noticed in December, it was 42. All right. Has it really gotten that much better where it's like triple since December? And if anything, if you look at the S1, its ARPU's down by 30% to try and grow subs, and they didn't grow subs that fast. And again, I'm one of those guys who's a new sub, but I'm just saying to you is that this is pretty much a jam job in terms of the valuation. That's what my point is basically it's an expensive valuation. It reminds me of Meta a lot, and you could see this thing, have some issues here. And also, final thing, I've done analysis on IPOs, and basically most IPOs, especially big ones, they don't trade well from the first trade. Now you can get the pop, so if you can get out stock sometimes, but they tend to not do well. And it's because of exactly what we just talked about. Steve's buddies, other people, they're in it. That supply is going to come online. You're going to have to get a new shareholder base. And often that supply is too much. And on something this big, historically IPOs, you participated because they had a big convexity to it, right? It's like, hey, we get in at 500 million or $1 billion or 2 billion, and then it can rip. Well, this is coming out at, 6% of GDP. I mean,
they've already offered it to retail. And they've already offered it to retail.
Yeah, everybody.
Here's a question.
Anybody's had a look at this thing over the last couple of years.
Exactly.
So Google's invested in SpaceX, and that's part of the reason this deal gets announced is that in a zero sum game, if SpaceX wins, Google wins because of the investment. I think I read that they have it's like at the current valuation for SpaceX, it's like $120 billion investment in SpaceX. And so, in other words, if it doesn't do well, Google loses out. But if it's not doing well because of market share, Google might be gaining. But do you think that's priced into Google? Do you think people understand what that is?
I mean, yeah, I think
like
so.
all their bets,
Hi, I'm David Maris. If you like what you just heard, we've tracked every single pick we make on the show, every ticker, every thesis, every entry price, over 1,100 picks and counting. We put it together in a free report with our top 10 performers, the reasoning behind each one, and a preview of our full dashboard. If you want access, the link is in the description.